Today we are going to cover the topic that is the graphical representation of the data. Yesterday we have already covered the what are the different methods of the graphical representation of data. Under this they are categorized into two, that is ungrouped data and the group data. Of this we have already covered the line graph and the bar graph. So today we are going to cover this topic, that is pie chart. Means certain data is given to you and you have to draw the pie chart. So how we can draw the pie chart? Before that you must know how does the group data and the ungrouped data look like. So this is one of the example of the ungrouped data. Here each year a particular data is collected and they are they are ungrouped. And next table show you how does the ungrouped data. When the data are in wide range, then we used to put it in a certain groups, that is from 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, and after that we find out the we used to calculate it. So the data are grouped into a particular range, then they are said to be ungrouped data, and ungrouped data they are not at all ranged. Next, coming up to the topic, that is pie diagram. So it is one of the ungrouped data. So how we can represent the ungrouped data in the form of a pie chart or pie diagram. So what is a pie diagram? It is a circular graph whose area is subdivided into sectors by radii. So you can find out this is a graph which is circular in nature and it is divided into several sectors. So this is the one sector, this is the another sector, and this is the another sector. So you can say that the data which is given to you is plotted in the form of a circle. Example for, consider if these two tables are given to you. This is the first table and this is the second column of the table. So consider if this much only value is supplied to you. So how you are going to calculate the pie diagram? For this is how it is calculated pie, but before that how to calculate it? So what is a pie chart? It is a circular diagram and it is used for comparing the relation between various component. हम इसमें क्या कर सकते हैं, various component के बीच में जो relation है उसको find out कर सकते हैं. So you can say that almost this area, that is USA, has exported cotton almost 54%, and after that India used to export 24% of the cotton. And सगळ्यात कमी कशाचं आहे तर that is of Argentina. So how you are going to plot this pie chart? The data is expressed as percentage. Here you can see that here first this is the diagram of this is a table where you can find out the exporting countries of the cotton 1955 to 56. 1955 से 56 के बीच में जो एक्सपोर्टिंग कंट्रीज थी कॉटन की वो इन्होंने यहाँ पे दिखाया है. USA it used to export 6,367 kgs of the cotton. So this value first should be converted into percentage. So how you are going to convert in percentage? You know it, that is 6,367 divided by total value, that is 11,906 into 100 will gives you the percentage. So the percentage will be 54%. Similarly, you have to calculate it for India. That is 2999 divided by 11,906 into 100 will gives you the percentage, that will be 25%. Next, similarly, you have to calculate it for Egypt, that is 1688 divided by 11,906 into 100 will gives you the percentage. So once the value is converted into percentage, so once it is converted into percentage, then these values is again converted into the degrees. So how you are going to convert into the degrees? So we know that for this you have to first plot a graph. So in order to plot a pie chart, you have to plot a circle. So we have to plot a circle. So first, with the help of a pencil of a particular radius, you have to draw a, with the help of a compass and pencil, you have to draw a circle of a particular size. Now convert the given values of item into percentage of the total value. So we have already converted into the percentage. So whatever the values is given to you should be converted into the percentage. So you know how to convert into percentage. That is USA exported value divided by the total value into 100 will gives you the percentage. So we have already converted into the percentage. Now we have to convert into the degrees. For that, what we have to do? We have just converted into the percentage. If it is 54%, we know that 360 degree is equal to 100%, or we can say that 360 degree is equal to 100%. So 1% will be equals to 360 divided by 100. Therefore 1% equals to 3.6 degree. Therefore what will be the 54%? Therefore 54% is equal to 54 into 3.6. So what will be the value? Will be 54 into 6. Sorry, 54 into 3.6 will gives you a particular degree, and that degree we have to place it over here. So we have to take with the help of protractor. Protractor normally looks somewhat like this, which is having, this is a 0 degree, and after that you can find out 20, 40, 60, this will be the 90, this will be 100, 110, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So protractor will be of the 180 degree. Consider this will gives you almost some, consider if it gives you 170 degree, then you have to take a particular point over here, that is somewhere here, and till here, how much degree? 170 degree. So you have to take a compass, find out 170 degree where it is. So from here you have to extend the compass till here, and then you have to take same way here, from starting from one point, this will be 0, the similar compass somewhere here. So this will gives you the 170 degree, or it is equals to the 54%. So this is how we are going to plot a chart of the pi. So how it can be calculated? So in order to work the pie chart, first you have to convert into the percentage. Once you have converted into the percentage, it should be converted into the degrees. This is 37 percentage. 360 divided by 100 gives you the degree. It's not the percentage, it gives you the degree. So whatever percentage, 1% equals to 3.6 degree. Therefore 54% will give you the 54 into 3.6 degree. So this percentage is converted into degrees, and degrees can be plotted on the circle. So next is the graphical representation of the grouped data. So till now we have discussed about the ungrouped data. Now we are going to cover the group data, or how these data are presented. These normally presented data are in the form of a graph. So there are three forms of presenting the group data. First one is the histogram, next one is frequency polygon, and third one is cumulative frequency. So coming up to the first topic, that is histogram. What is histogram? So it is consisting of set of rectangles. So it is consisting of set of rectangles drawn on a horizontal baseline. यहाँ पे एक हॉरिजॉन्टल बेसलाइन पे सेट ऑफ रेक्टेंगल्स ड्रॉ किए जाते हैं, उसे क्या कहते हैं? हिस्टोग्राम. So it consists of a set of rectangle drawn on a horizontal baseline, that is x-axis, and frequencies marks on the y-axis. So in order to draw a histogram, you have to label the frequency on the y-axis, and the horizontal baseline should be somewhere here, that will be on the x-axis. So the width of each rectangle extend over class boundaries of the corresponding class along the horizontal axis, and there should be a particular difference between the two rectangles should be maintained. Example for monthly profit in rupees of 100 shops distribution are as follows. This given example is given to you. So you have to plot a histogram. So here you can find out the data which is given, they are grouped because it's a wide range of the data and each data cannot be represented. Therefore they are grouped into the ranges for class interval. So you can find out the profit per shop, that, and the next table, that is number of shop. From 0 to 100, 12 shops are there. 100 to 200, 18 shops are there. So given data is already presented to you, you have to draw the histogram. So how you are going to draw it? So you have to take the frequency somewhere on the y-axis, and you have to take the class interval on the x-axis, that is 0 to 100. Put a particular space in between the two bars, and the space remains the same each time you select the bars. So consider if from here to here we have already plotted the first one. From here to here we have taken the 1 centimeter gap. So 1 centimeter gap each should be maintained each and every time. Now we have to plot the histogram. So we know that histogram, x-axis we have plotted the from 0 to 100. Then from 100 to 200. Next will be the 200 to 300. We are going to plot the class interval on the x-axis, and we are going to plot the frequency. That is, the frequency ranges from, that is 6, and the highest value is considered to be the 27. So we are going to plot it from 1 to 1 to 30. So it should be plotted from 0 to 30. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 scales can be considered. And after that plotting is to be done. So on x-axis 0 to 100 we have taken, and the data is how much frequency? Frequency is 12. So the data will be somewhere here. The plotting point will be somewhere here. And after this we are going to extend this point on the both side, and we'll get the rectangular data. So this is how horizontal histograms can be plotted. Next is the frequency polygon. Frequency polygon, it is the area diagram represented in the form of curve. So this is again a type of the histogram, but the midpoint of the histogram is covered, and it shows in the form of a curve. So it is an area diagram represented in the form of curve obtained by joining the midpoints of top of rectangles in a histogram by a straight line. Again you have to plot an histogram, and then you have to take the midpoint. So consider if it is a histogram, so you have to find out the midpoint of the histogram, and then you have to join this. So you will get many angles. So what is this? This is nothing but the polygon, frequency polygon. So you have to plot the frequency polygon for this value. This is a homework. So how you are going to plot it? You have to plot the class interval on the x-axis, and you have to plot the frequency on the y-axis. Frequency ranges from 2 to 13, means from 0 to 20 you have to plot the frequency. The frequency somewhere started from 0 to 20, that is 5, 10, 15, 20, etc. The class interval should ranges from 100 to 150, then again 1 centimeter gap will be there, then 150 to 200, then 200 to 250. In this way we are going to plot the frequency polygon. Why it is said to be frequency polygon? Because we will get many angles. So this is how does the table look like. And here we are going to draw the curve by joining the midpoints of the histogram. So we will get many angles, that's why it is said to be the frequency polygon. This is one angle, this is another angle, this is another angle, this is another angle. So in this way you can plot the frequency polygon. Next, what are the uses of the frequency polygon or the grouped data? So uses is, it is useful in representing a simple and ungrouped frequency distribution of the discrete values. The values which are discrete, there we can easily represent the data in a simple way. It gives an appropriate idea of the shape of the frequency curve. So we'll get an appropriate idea of the shape. So with this we have covered the frequency polygon, histogram, and the ungrouped data's representation like line diagram, bar diagram, pie chart, and pie chart. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.